Hey anime fans, welcome to the Anime Club with your hosts Josh Sanchez and Isaiah Gomes.
Oh my goodness. Hello everybody and welcome to the Anime Club. I am your host Isaiah and I am here with my co-host Josh.
What's going on, guys? As you guys can hear, Lights laugh at the end. How are you guys doing?
We also have Noah here yet again.
Hey everybody.
And we have one of the Big Brother Canada podcasters for Silent Podcast, Cheyenne. Cheyenne, what's going on?
Nothing much. I'm really hoping that my cat doesn't drink my water while I'm on here.
And like usual, we are here to talk about anime at this very late night, like we usually do. But before we start and before we talk about what we're going to be covering tonight, Cheyenne, what is your history with anime and manga?
Okay, so I had like the nerdiest origins ever. I went to the public library every weekend as a kid. So eventually I was like, kid stuff, boring, young adult, too long. So I really wandered into the manga section. So I started with like Zatch Bell, Rave Master, just like a bunch of shonen stuff. Detective Canon, and then I moved into some comics, but then I went back into manga and then did shoujo, and now I kind of basically read shonen. Like I'm up to date on My Hero Academia. I'm reading Black Clover from your recommendation with Josh before. I'm really into Mob Psycho 100, and then I like to enjoy romance too. But like I speed read action basically.
There's nothing wrong with rom-coms. I love rom-com anime. You know, we need to do a rom-com anime.
That's actually facts.
You're writing that down.
I'm up there. I'm up to date on all the ones you should be watching.
All right. So tonight we are here to talk about Death Note. This is going to be a little bit different because I think out of everything that we've covered so far, usually we talk about these shonen animes. Oh wait, real quick. Yeah, we love rom-coms over here, legend. So usually we talk about these shonen animes that are more so like power-based and power levels, and there's fighting and all this stuff. This one is a little bit more in a different direction. It's a lot more focused on like writing and like detective work and mystery, which is very cool. Josh, how do you feel about Death Note as a series?
Oh man, I loved it. This was one of the few shows where I actually like really took my time, because how I watch shows, if I'm really into it, like I binge it a lot and stuff. With Death Note, I couldn't binge it because it was just so much just psychological manipulation and everything that's going on through my mind. Man, you got Light and L and their close bond, and then they end up going. L ends up losing and stuff, and then you see what else happens with the anime and stuff there. So I definitely think it's up there with one of the best. I recommend everyone to watch it. So yeah, I love it.
Now, Josh, you love it, but Noah, I know you feel a different way. What's your overall thoughts on Death Note as a series?
Look, I think Death Note is definitely a must-watch for everybody. I mean, it's good. The suspense is good, like you said, we were talking about before. Like when you watch it that first time, like it's cool. But then, like when you really think about it, for me. So here's how I go about it. I think if L has the same amount of knowledge of Shinigami as Light did, or if he even had a little bit extra, I think L wins. I think L was more intellectually smart than Light as a whole. I think L played the game so perfectly, but that's where Light and L like differentiate, because Light played the game perfectly as well, but he played the manipulation game 10 times better than L could have handled, because this is the way that Light Light literally made a Shinigami bend for him, like literally off just straight lying, just straight lying. So I think in a just world, L wins, but I think once Light got L killed, he didn't even kill him anyways. Once Light got Rem to kill L, it should have ended. I hate the predecessor. Once the predecessors came along, I lost the series. The series was terrible after that. Like it just should have ended with Light like dying in a car accident. It's just something stupid. I don't know. Anything but the predecessor like stick. That's where it lost me.
And that's fine. You know, we all love different opinions over here. Me personally, I want to tackle what you were talking about, where I do think L is the better detective, where Light is like the better manipulator. And I think it's kind of hard because, all right, like you have L, who basically has like the entire police force of like Japan. He has that to his disposal. So he has camera footage, he has cops, he has information on these people's personal lives. So that's his leg up. Where then you have Light, who has like these these gods of death basically on his side, where he can use like unnatural means, like he has, like you said, Rem, who basically like can kill people, or like you got Ryuk, who can spy for people. Literally the Death Note itself is like almost like a cheat code, where like he literally like stored, he like changed the rules around, where like you can like, he put his memory in one Death Note, stored it away so he can get his memory back later. And like Light can't do that. It's very iffy. It depends on how you look at it. But I definitely agree with that. I think Death Note. Oh, go ahead, Cheyenne.
I have to disagree. Maybe
okay.
It's recency, but I think for one, the author admitted, I was looking up his name and I'm still like gonna mispronounce it, but Ongo, he admitted that L is only smart as a plot device. He said L is the smartest character because he needs to be. So it's like, can't fault Light for that. But two, when Light gave up the possession of the Death Note and he didn't know anything, he came to all these same conclusions that L did. He was like, shit, am I Kira? No way, I'm Kira. Like, he also connected the dots, even without his full memory.
Actually, no, you definitely are right about that. I didn't actually. Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. No, how do you feel about that?
No, I get that. I get they're on the same wavelength. No, I'm saying if L had the same Shinigami knowledge, not like knowledge off the muscle, but like if they were both, like if L knew Shinigami exists, which I know that's like the part of the plot, but if L knew Shinigami exists, he would have found Light so quickly. I feel like it wouldn't have been that long of a back and forth if he was actually knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, he did find Light. He thought Light was Kira the whole time. He was just like, how do I get that evidence on you?
No, that's what I'm saying. If he knows Shinigami, he doesn't need any more evidence than that. But I guess that's just a part of the thing. I think that's what I'm saying. L wins. And that's where L wins for me, because essentially he did catch him, but because of the lack of knowledge of Shinigami, he couldn't like get the concrete evidence until it was too late.
Interesting. And real quick, I just want to say how awesome I think it is to even talk about a series like this, because oh my gosh, it's like so commercialized nowadays. They have like 1,000 like live action remakes, and I mean they're not good, but I mean but Death Note, it does this thing. So Josh, what is our first talking point when it comes to Death Note?
Yeah, so I was definitely thinking, because I know we talked about the manga as well. We can really get into the manga and the updated chapter as well. I definitely think that's going to be a talking point. Also, favorite characters of the anime. Just I want to hear everybody's favorite character as well. And then we already got into it, but how do you guys feel about like the anime overall in general? Because I know we already started with that topic. So when it comes to like favorite characters and stuff, what are some characters that really stand out for you guys?
Just for me to go first, I love Misa Amane. I think she is hilarious. She's not really meant to be taken too seriously, and I know that she's like, she honestly kind of like slipped up and messed like Light's position up almost in a degree, because she was so sloppy. But I don't know. I have a thing for like crazy characters in these series, and she was so entertaining. And honestly, if she didn't get involved, I don't know if L would have had a chance to like catch up almost, or she was also like a big barrier in Light's way as well, because like she was like very reckless. She was willing to kill people who try to flirt with him and all this stuff. Yeah, we definitely do stand Misa, even though she is a flop. But it's just like I love Misa. I don't know, how do you guys feel like with favorite characters?
Okay, well, first, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I mean, I also love Misa. I don't even think she was like a super flop. If like She sounded smart until until Elle was like the investigator. And then they were like, you have cat hair over here. This is yours. But like, I also really like Misa. And I don't know if if Light would have gotten out of the pickle if there wasn't a second Kira. Because it like casts suspicion just a bit to the point of where if it is a secret power, you can't just hold Light accountable. But my favorite character is Ryuk.
Oh, he's cool.
Love him. Yeah. I'm like, how did he? I don't know if it was covered, but I have to reread it. How did he trick the god of death, to get a second notebook?
I don't remember.
They did say it, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
It was some Oh, no. He got the second Death Note because, so remember how Rem dies? Once you a Shinigami loves somebody, they lose their Death Note and they die as well. There was a Shinigami who loved it was Misa, the one who loved Misa originally, I think. Yeah. And he saved her life from a knife wielder. And then after that, he died, and then Ryuk took his notebook. That's what happened.
Yep.
Well, no, that's how Rem got her second notebook.
That's how.
Then he stole it from her. I think he just took it from her. Honestly, I think that was how it happened.
It was something. I don't remember. See, the thing with Death Note, they please do, because the thing with Death Note, I did notice that they really kind of like, they didn't really expand much on like the Shinigami realm. I do remember that, even with like the Shinigami King. Like I remember there was at one point where like they sent that one Shinigami just to go get Ryuk, and I was like, and we didn't really even get like any kind of explanation on or even in a one shot. Like I mean, I know the Shinigami King, we'll talk about it, like made a huge impact, but it was like he didn't even show up in the series at all. He's just kind of like this figure that's like lingering in the background that just like controls everything. All
that came up is it looks like Ryuk tricked the King of Gods by pretending he lost his Death Note. That's all I'm getting. They just said he succeeded in tricking the Shinigami King. I don't know. Like, that's all I'm getting from it.
Oh my god! But yeah, apparently, what you said, that's how Rem got hers, and she was telling her like how to kill a Shinigami, and she was like, not everyone can fool the dead guy, the overworld guy.
Shinigami King.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah. Henry in the comments said, I think the reason he didn't expand on the Shinigami realm is because A, is dreadfully boring, and B, it would draw attention away from the cat and mouse story. I don't think it's boring. I like world building. Some of us are One Piece fans, and we like world building, but I see what you're saying.
I love a B plot.
I would like a little touch on them. Like, they didn't have to be focused on, but just like, besides just like, all that was told was like, everybody wants to die here, but not actually wants to die, and it's just boring. Like, they just told us that, and they were like, all right, well, there you go. That's the Shinigami world. That was it.
Actually, no, you're right. He was like, "Yeah, this place is boring.
This place sucks, and that's it."
That's why he's my favorite character, because it's like out of a world full of little demon creatures that love apples. Apparently, they're like, forget Earth. I don't want to go there. But he's like, let me trick the main dude in charge just so I can have a little fun, and that is what I like in a person.
I love the scene where like Light's almost kind of getting finessed by the one chick who's trying to take information to Elle, the spy at the beginning, and he's just laughing the entire time. He's like, she gave you a fake name. Like, and he keeps trying to like get Light to like use the Shinigami eyes and stuff. I'm just like, he's very interesting. How about you, Josh? Because you haven't said much.
I know you're good. I'm enjoying this conversation. I agree with what everybody's saying. My favorite character is Elle. I just love even like the little stuff he does, like when it comes to like eating like food and stuff. I just love him overall as a character. And again, like it's so the fact that he was able to he pretty much figured out who like Light was. I was so upset. I agree with Noah. I was so upset when he died. I was so upset because like that comment, like they both ended up loving each other too, as like the cat and mouse.
Oh no, Light never loved him. No, Light never.
No,
Light can't love. Light don't love nobody.
Well, I know he doesn't love nobody, but they had moments though where they're like, yeah, like I appreciate. Like they ended up appreciating each other.
I think he don't think he loved. He had respect.
Yeah, it was respect. Yeah.
He killed his dad, bro. He killed his dad.
Facts.
He didn't want-
He looked him in his eyes and watched him die. That shit's fucked up.
Yeah.
No, you're not wrong.
Fucked up.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I really love the L dynamic. I do wish, again, because I mean, you guys made a great point though. Like we are really big like One Piece fans. Like we do like the expand of everything and like explain everything. I do wish they would have explained like the Shinigami world more. Understand like, oh, like what's the like how do you become a king? Like what's all about that and stuff. Like how are like the rules created? I definitely think that would have been a better like explanation. But again, you don't really want to get rid of the thrill of the cat and mouse game. So those are my takeaways in terms of characters and stuff.
I feel that.
Well, we're not all One Piece fans.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
Oh
let's
no.
just
Get out
get
of
that
here.
straight.
It's like, no, I'm playing.
Tragic for you, honestly.
We are me, Josh, and Noah are major One Piece fans. So.
All right. Y'all
Look,
enjoy.
You got into Black Clover because of us. I'm telling you, try out One Piece. You're not.
Oh, I've tried.
You ain't tried
You ain't
recently.
tried hard enough.
Yeah, you gotta try. Exactly. Look at this.
You gotta put your foot down.
No one
I didn't even say anything.
Tread your
I tried.
So Josh, what's up? What's next on that? Oh wait, go ahead, Shia. Go ahead.
No, I just definitely love L as well. He was like one of the funniest characters. And when Light did lose his memory, my favorite thing was how they could like just hit each other with one glance. So yeah, L definitely was my like comic relief.
Agreed.
Comic
Yeah.
relief. I'd have to say Masa is my favorite character. I think he was hilarious the whole time. He was so stupid. It was like such a breath of fresh air, like because you go from this like super technical like brain battle between these two geniuses, and then you have Masuda just like there, just doing dumb stuff. All the like when he was listening in on the executives meeting, and he just fell through the door, and he had to sell that he was trying to sell Misa for a commercial. Like he's just so stupid. Like it's just so funny. It's so like he had to fake this man had to fake his own death because he just kept getting caught up like a dummy.
It was pretty dumb. I remember even in the one shot where Ryuk was holding the paper, he was like this is a Shinigami stuff, and Nier was like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like you're telling the whole world what the stuff is now. Like like he doesn't think he's one of those people who thinks he's a hero.
Yeah, he's just stupid as shit. It's just so funny.
He ends up making it worse.
And of course, he's the one that basically shoots Light dead, which even adds on to how like funny it was because he didn't do anything the whole time, but he's the man that kills it. Like I was like, oh, what the fuck, fucking Masuda.
He was fun.
Yeah. So for our next topic, we can really get into like the manga part of the latest chapter and stuff that it really hasn't been seen in anime yet. So Isaiah, I know you were texting everybody the links like, yo, like watch it. What do you like? Read it. How do you guys feel about it? So Isaiah, I want you to start us off. How did you feel about the overall, like the newest chapter of Death Note in the manga?
I personally, so when I first read it, this came out like last year. And first of all, I was so excited because we haven't had Death Note content in years. And this is just a one shot. So like it was cool to see almost like a time skip to get like an update on like a lot of these people. It's interesting to see Ryuk back to his old stuff just because he's bored. But you know, Minoru, first of all, as Akira was honestly a very interesting take because we only saw like the evil benefits of having a Death Note where Light and the guy who was like deleting people when he had it, or like the mobsters and all that, like everybody always used it for their own selfish intentions, where Minoru kind of like just used it for like he's smart. He was like, yeah, this is like the most powerful weapon ever. Like, if you guys want it, like, what's your offer? And I was just sitting there the whole time thinking, like, how is he going to get this money without getting caught? Because technically he's not breaking any laws, but like still, like they're going to want to see where he got it from. And the way he just executed everything by like, oh, like he sold it to America because like it's so funny that Donald Trump was the person who bought it, first of all. But like he sold it to America, he got all that money, and then he gave it to everyone in Japan in like increments. And I'm like, yo, this guy's a genius. Like even Nier was like, yeah, I lost. Like there's no way I can get this. And it was interesting to see how he made just Ryuk do everything so he could just stay at his house. And it was also interesting to me to see just like all these characters, like almost like time skip, see how some of them are older, how some of them grown. To see like Light being put into the history books was also kind of cool too. I'm like, oh, okay, like, you know, he left his impact and all that stuff. But you know, I enjoyed it. It really showed the realism of like greed in the world that we have right now, because like these world leaders are really just selfish. The fact that Trump literally had it, and then he was like, oh yeah, the Shinigami King changed the rules. If you take this, you're gonna die. He was like, all right, you keep it. And they can have the money, but my enemies will think I have this power. So, you know, clout, like, you know, it's crazy. But, you know, I enjoyed it. I liked Minaru as a Kira, and it's unfortunate that he died the way he did, because honestly, he played it right. And just because of plot convenience with the Shinigami King, you know, he died, which kind of sucked. But, you know, in comparison to Light, I honestly think he's almost smarter than Light, because literally the only way he was able to lose in his situation, one, he didn't break any rules, so they couldn't arrest him. And B, he only died by supernatural means. Like, they had to literally create a whole nother rule just to stop this guy because he was that smart. So, you know, it was cool to see.
Yeah, it was definitely like, it kind of blew my mind in the way that, one, it's like it kind of, the rule was made after he used the Death Note, but he still, like, he could have made it if he had like made them mail it to everyone under the bank, or if he had did like X, Y, and Z. But it's like also so smart that he just, in a way of not wanting to kill anyone, he was like so meticulously able to say, hey, come back when I'm able to open a bank account, and then I'll get my money.
No.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was good. It was cool. I just say I didn't like how he died either. I thought he died. It was kind of dumb. I was like, well, he's getting out of his money and he just dies. But it was definitely like a nice take on like it was a testament to how like smart he was. Like that's just to think of something like that is definitely insane. As well as like the whole strategy with Ryuk. And I think, like Isaiah was saying, I think he's probably smarter than Light and L as well. Because just to think about the era that he's in, especially after Light exists, so people that are higher up know Death Note is real, one, and they know about Shinigami and all these things, and he still finessed the situation by using Ryuk's like ability to be further distances away from him. With all these cameras now that are available, like everything listening, obviously since after Light, so I think that definitely puts him like he's probably the smartest, he's probably the smartest Death Note character, I think, for me at least. And
but did you see his test scores?
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean nothing when it comes down to what the like dealing with the shit that he's dealing with. Like,
yeah,
those test scores mean absolutely nothing. He's just a big brain. He's just a big brain. Tests don't mean anything to him. And I think I like you said, Light being in the history books. Whether you like it or not, he went about it the wrong way because he killed innocent people. But if you can't argue that Light didn't really like cause like peace in a sense at the end of the day. I mean, he had the right idea. His mental just couldn't handle that type of power in his hands.
Yeah, I agree with all your points, honestly. Like, you guys have all pretty much hit everything nail in the coffin. Like with Minoru and stuff, like he was able, again, it was post Light's era where there's literally cameras on every corner. There's literally, the second you're on a website, I believe it was told like you would already get like an alert or something if you were already doing something involved with the Death Note and stuff. And I love the history books. I was like, yeah, because I mean, like you guys said, Light was absolutely crazy. I like his laugh even like just makes me cringe every time I hear it, because that's how you just feel like his rage and his anger every time he laughs. Like his final laugh at the end where everyone was right there looking at him. He's like, yeah, I am Kira. And then he starts laughing about it. He definitely, again, like you guys said, though, he had the right idea. He just is a psycho, and he lost all sense of himself during the process.
It's real quick. I think the big difference is that Light was like bored of the world, and then he had a god complex where Minoru understood. He's like, yeah, I'm a human. You know, I'm only here for a certain amount of time. Let me just get my money real quick. You know, and technically,
he was about his money. I respect it.
And what he said was savage that he read the rules. He saw if I use this, I'm going to die soon. So like, I'm not going to use this thing. Let me just get my money and keep it moving. And he did the right thing. Like, you know, he broke all the rules.
No, yeah.
That's literally what I was thinking while Josh was talking, is that not that I wasn't listening, I was listening. But it's like, I think this shows that the Death Note can't be used for good. Like, even if you do your very best to be a good person, it's going to cause you an unfortunate ending, like it tells you it will.
So you're not going to go to heaven or hell. You're just going to go to the Shinigami realm and kill people for the rest of your life. Like, no one wants that.
It's great. Off Josh's point too about his laugh. Honestly, I loved the laugh at the end. I think that was one of my favorite scenes. I think it encompassed Light so perfectly. Like just his whole just the progression of the beginning to that final scene. And that's where it gets me mad. He should have won. They all should have died in front of him like that while he was laughing like an absolute savage. They all should have died right in front of him. I don't care. I'm so mad that he lost like that.
I know, especially the way how like he ended up defeating L and stuff. I didn't really like it. I kind of, as I'm listening to I didn't like the two brothers after L, just because L, you felt an emotional connection with him. Like I said earlier, like he really ended up loving Light a lot, and Light didn't give a crap about him at all. No. So like, with all those factors coming in, you go from that to the two brothers, and one of the brothers was an absolute idiot. Like it was all about me, and that's when
Mello.
Mello. I couldn't stand Mello. I was like, kill him.
He did. He did him dirty too. I mean, he did kill him. He killed him disrespectfully too.
I was clapping when he killed him. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, I mean, yeah, the series overall, it definitely takes some time to watch everything and to really like understand everything that's going on. It's just because again, like so much is happening. But just like you guys said, though, the Death Note, it just shows again, it doesn't matter if you have great intentions for it, you're going to die. And I was dying when I saw Donald Trump in that. That was funny. It was great because I mean, it literally describes perfectly like. You're really like the quote was like, you're really going to lie to everybody because you're gonna be that selfish. He was like, yeah, I'm not gonna die. Yeah, here's money. I'll just use it as manipulation. So
whatever you say, he said you can. I mean, hey, he's like, hey, if you really care about your country, take the book and you'll die a hero. But like, you know, your country will have the strongest thing. He was like, this is not worth my life.
And the facial expressions too. That's what got me through.
The author is such a savage for that. Like I remember that was trending on Twitter when it first came out. It was like Trump Death Note. And like keep talking. I'm gonna pull up the meme that people made. It was so funny.
I think another thing the person who really got the worst in Death Note is the news lady, the news anchor woman. She really took the hardest L possible. I really don't think anybody took a harder L than her. Like Light really had her wrapped around his finger, like disrespectfully. Like it was crazy. Like he really had her and Misa at each other's neck for no reason. And then the way he really killed her was really the wildest thing ever. He was like, make sure you kill this bull. She's like, I killed him. He was like, bet. Then he writes your name down real quick. He said, now you next.
Wait, real quick.
That's really a nightmare.
That is a nightmare. Oh my god, dude! If that was to happen, oh my god, dude! All it took was one tweet, and all these people.
Yeah, that's it. That's over for you.
Oh my goodness, man! So you guys want to transition to this tier list, guys, or
sure?
All right, yeah, I mean,
yeah, we can do it.
All right,
like you said, a lot of the characters just kind of anyways. So
I'm gonna need a lot of help with remembering some of these people's names. So stick with me.
You guys are rude. Every one of them is wonderful and dynamic.
All right, well
That's debatable.
He said, All right, so the first one here is Light's dad. I forget what his name. He was a chief. You know, he really cared about his country. You know, he literally took the Shinigami eyes, knowing his life would be split in half. You know, he was on the front lines. He was really. I mean, I personally, I love him. You know, what he meant about his work. He knew what the risk was dealing with like supernatural means and all that. He really put himself out there. And I remember, oh my gosh, it was so crazy when we found out that he was Light's dad. I was like, yo. But I personally love him. I think he's like an A or an S. But how do you guys feel?
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, honestly. I agree. Yeah, I would put him right at A and S. He was actually a really good character. Like I liked him. I just think again, he really helped. Like not helped, but his death caused like the fact that Light ends up killing him. That really was the stepping stone that really took Light into like an even darker character. Like, dude, like he was already crazy, but the fact that he was able to he was bold enough to kill his own father. Man, that really took him to the other level. So I would put his dad at A tier, around there.
What do you think,
sorry,
Sam?
just to make sure. So are we ranking them as like favorites or like powerful?
Favorites, because powerful, there ain't no power. And I mean, there's only like a couple people.
Yeah, I was like,
power, but
is he a B? But okay, yeah, I would definitely say he's an A. Just because it's like, I think once Light was accused of being Kira, he was like, oh, I'm sticking to this till the very end. I solve this or I die. And he died.
It was crazy. I remember, it sucks that he died with the Shinigami eyes and then he saw Light, and since he gave up ownership, he thought that he died thinking that he was right the whole time, that Light wasn't Kira. That sucks. But you want to know what sucks even more? I don't know if the same rules apply, because I know, all right, if you write someone's name in there, then you're going to be a Shinigami and all that. Does the same rules apply if you take the Shinigami eyes? Because what if he turned to a Shinigami for this, and then like, you know, like I don't know if he got to go to heaven or hell either for that.
Wait, but did he possess the Death Note?
Sorta, like I don't remember. I remember the cops. Yeah, he had to.
No, I don't think so. Wait,
that's how you see Ryuk. That's how you see Ryuk. You have to touch it.
You can touch it, but you don't have to have it.
Not have ownership.
Oh, okay.
I think Light still had ownership at that point. Did he not?
Okay. Yeah, he did. He did.
Light still had the ownership. I'm pretty sure. Wait,
so I think as long as he didn't possess it, he could have.
He gave
gone
up
to heaven.
ownership, but they just had the book. But I don't think anyone wrote a name in there. If they did, I don't remember who did. But I gotta think back. I gotta look at that eventually. But I mean, regardless, even if he is A tier character, I like him. He's great. The next is, I forget her name, but she was a spy chick from America that was married to Ray Pember.
Miss Pember.
Miss Pember. She was alive for like an episode, but like she was about to get married, but you know, Ray Pember died. She was on her way to go ally with Light, and then she almost tricked Light. Like she almost got to, you know, the police station, but Light somehow manipulated her to you know, give her real name, which, to be honest, if Ryuk wasn't a factor and he wasn't laughing, she probably would have caught him, if you think about it. But you know, she got caught. She ended up killing herself because of the Death Note, and it is what it is. It's unfortunate because I thought she was about to be like an important character when we first got introduced to her. But
quick.
Yeah, I personally, so she only lasted an episode. I mean, like I would give her like a C. You know, not trash, but you know, I don't know. How do you guys feel?
I'd agree. She's kind of like his dad in a sense, but she just didn't get enough screen time. She's like righteous, you know what I'm saying? She was determined to avenge her husband to be, but you know, Light was like, nah, I don't think so.
Real quick. I'm sorry, because they're making a big deal. Her name is Naomi. I'm sorry. All right, her name is Naomi.
Sorry.
All right, yeah, continue.
I actually really
It's good though.
wait, what were you guys ranking her as? Because I'd say even though her part was really small, it's like it showed that Light had so many cracks where
Yeah.
he was like, it was obvious that he was on the bus. It was obvious that he had gone to the scouting thing. It was like she had connected the dots. And if Light had not met her at the police station and said that he was a part of the investigation team and that she would connect him, that he would connect her to L, then obviously like it would have gone differently. And that's unfortunately on her for like believing that anyone who can be friendly with police is a good person. But I think her character was like really amazing. I wish they had like made her a bit more of a thing, especially because she was so smart and she had worked with Elle before. It was just like everything was aligning to make her seem like a bigger antagonist or protagonist, considering who the main character was.
Protagonist to the antagonist, or antagonist.
Yeah,
I don't know, but yeah,
I
get
would
you.
definitely say she's at least B rank.
Yeah, I actually agree. I would put her at B just for all the reasons that you said. That was actually a really good point. Because again, being able to work with L, that's definitely major props. I would not put her at A tier though, because again of the one episode. If we see more screen time, A tier because of the smartness and the overall character.
Yeah.
But because she was killed off in one episode, B tier. So
All right,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I
Bottom
agree with
B,
that.
but yeah. So next, okay.
The bottom
So
bitch
next
theory.
is the next two are very controversial characters, but I mean we'll get to them. The first one, Josh voiced his opinion on him, is Mello. Mello is one of the two predecessors of L. He has a very like his approach to being a detective is a lot more cutthroat and in your face. And to be fair, he didn't have like the government funding to take the detective approach that Near did. So I mean, you know, he got some street dudes and did what he had to do his own way. But you know, at the end of the day, him and Near still were cooperating unintentionally. I mean, like, you know, they were trained by the same person. So, you know, they both had the same goal despite liking each other and not. With that being said, I mean, he definitely took a huge L to Light, and you know, it is what it is there. But how do you guys feel about Mello?
I'll get it started. I can't stand Mello just because again, now it was just the time. It was the timing for me. Like you go from L and that, like I said earlier, you go from L and that cat and mouse game to freaking Mello. Like I couldn't stand it. Honestly, like I think like the way how I just didn't like his style at all. He was like, I'm just gonna get in your face. I'm gonna come at you. I'm not a fan of that. I honestly think he really was. He actually was very smart, like underrated smart. But I think his aggression and stuff really hurt him at the end. And I was happy that Light was able to kill him. He definitely, I knew he was going to die. I was like, he is too aggressive. He is going to get killed. And that's exactly what happened. But I would probably put him, to remove all my biases away, I would probably put him around the B range again, just because, just like you said, he didn't really have the funding, and he actually was low key very intelligent. It's just, again, instead of actually trying to accomplish his goal, he became selfish on his own end, and for his own greed, he tried it. Because I remember him and his brother were trying to have a competition as well with each other too to see who would capture him first. So, with that being said, I would probably put him around B tier. What do you guys think?
I'm kind of on D tier. I mean, I don't like his Bob. He's so like annoying. I think another thing is I didn't like how cutesy his like image was compared to like how much of an asshole he was. And it wasn't like enjoyable in any way.
I remember.
I'm not a fan of him, so if you want to lower him, I'm fine with that.
I'm with that because I mean I think he's a CB level character, but like I just don't care for Near or Mello. Sorry, I don't care for Mello. I think he's kind of weird. I don't like the bowl cut, like Cheyenne said. And I personally didn't mind his approach since you know, he didn't have the funding, and you know, you gotta do what you gotta do if you are trying to you know, complete a case. But I didn't like his aesthetic. It was just weird. Like even like how L had the thing where he was addicted to ice cream, Nier was addicted to the toys. His thing was just always chewing in a bar of chocolate, and he was just like, I don't know, if you're supposed to be the good guy, you're giving off villainous vibes. You're just some edge lord 24/7. I was just like, I'm not a Mello fan. So I would put him D2. But what are you thinking, Noah?
I'd probably agree. I think the only thing that would bring him up and anything is like he's not a dumb character in regards to his intelligence. Like obviously, him and Nier are remotely the same, if not the same, intellectually. So that like he's smart. I think I like if I take anything away from the whole predecessor route they went, I did like the contrast a little bit between him and Nier. Like I get there, just like it was cool seeing the different styles. I think because I didn't mind the more rough and tumble style that Mello brought as compared to the Nier side of it, where it's just which is what we were more used to because like Nier is like more ish L, like more adopted the L figure comparative to like Nier. I mean, comparative to Mello.
All right.
Well, I mean, he's I didn't like his character. He's just smart. That's about it.
So next is Nier. Honestly, this is just L 2.0. Nier. I mean, a lot of people don't like Nier. I personally don't mind Nier, but he's basically L, but just like given all the information that L took from the jump, and then he just had that to his to his disposal. He didn't play, I will say the one thing about him is that he was emotionally removed, where I think L had, respect for Light. Nier didn't have respect for Light at all. He thought Light was an idiot psychopath and he just needed to be taken down, which is why I think he took him down so easily, because that was his first case. He was like, I'm taking this serious. Where L was doing this for a while, and he was like, I need someone who's at my caliber to challenge me. And I think L was like almost having fun going against Light, like you guys said earlier, he probably could have took him down a lot earlier, but I think he was enjoying himself for once. He said he had a friend for once, where Nier was like, no, like I'm this idiot's going down one way or another, like real quick. So with that being said, I think Nier gets a lot of hate for no reason. I personally think he's like a top B tier, but that's just me. What do you guys feel about Nier? How about Noah? How do you feel about him?
I'd agree. I like Nier. He's not that bad. If I would have to pick one of the predecessors, I like Nier as the obvious selection for me, just because he's a lot better. I think I liked, like you said, I think it makes a lot of sense. He was really about straight business. He was about avenging L, and that's really all it was in his mind. He had no other thoughts. He didn't want to. I feel like Light. I feel like L wanted to understand the wavelength that Light was on, but Nier was like, I can't relate to someone who thinks like this and who handles situations like this. So Nier was just all about business. Yeah, Nier is cool. I like Nier.
I say Nier. Oh, sorry.
No, I was done. You're good.
I say Nier is C-list for copycat or carbon copy. He's literally a cop out, you could say. It's just very here's L again. He's got different hair. He eats not that much sweets. Surprise.
Even in the
I just
one
felt like he was
shot, he was
nothing.
just kind of. Let me take the one shot in consideration too.
That's true. It was just
He seemed like
he's
he didn't
named
care.
is L. Yeah, like he took over all three detective alliances or whatever.
The moment, because he said he lives in America, he was like, the moment that like the money got transferred, he was like, yeah, it has nothing to do with me. Where I feel like L would have been like, no, like I need to still figure this out. So yeah, that's actually interesting how you say that, the copycat thing. Josh, how do you feel about Nier?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same as all three of you guys. Like he is pretty much like the copycat of L. He took everything from L. So I mean, I would probably put him at bottom B, just because again, I mean, like it does take some skill and smartness to. And I know he ended up getting all of L's information and stuff, But with that being said, it still takes great intelligence for you to figure it out. And if there was a person to replace L, it would be Nier out of the two brothers by far. So bottom.
All right. And it averages 3 Bs, 1 C, bottom B it is. All right. So next we're gonna get through some of these fodder characters real quick. But so we got Light's sister. I mean,
no opinion.
Yeah.
She was just there.
D, I'm sorry.
Yeah, she was just kind of in there. Said hi to Light a few times and like flirted with Masuda, and then that was it. And then she was out of there.
Pretty much.
She was like a possible suspect for maybe 0.25 seconds.
Yeah, she got kidnapped. That was a highlight of her series. Her getting kidnapped.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah,
real quick, shout out to my guy Josh Abbott. He said, I can handle L, Light being L. I can't handle some copycat scrub beating L.
Exactly.
I completely agree.
That's exactly my problem with the predecessor continuation. Like, you got these scrub young boys beating the actual demon lord at this point. Doesn't even make sense.
So I forget this guy's name, but this is the guy that was almost like, he was like the number one Kira supporter. He was calling like God and stuff, and when he was writing names,
that was funny.
He was like delete.
Was it
delete?
Teru?
I think
Mikami?
so. Something like that. Mikami, that's right. Mikami, that's right. Yeah. He was like when Light got rid of his memory, he made sure that Ryuk gave it to a specific person, and it was this guy. And he was, I don't know, he was just like carrying on the will while he was out of commission technically. And I loved when he would say delete. And even when they showed up and he took I believe he took the Shinigami eyes for Light, and he was writing everyone's name down. And if he just knew that the papers were fake, like, he almost would have got away with it too. Like, he was like almost like a cult leader of Kira. I thought he was entertaining just to see another crazy fool. Like Light was a psychopath, but this guy was like a cultist psychopath. So it was kind of interesting. I personally see, because I don't think he's like really likable, but like I said, I have a soft spot for like crazy characters, so that's just me. Cheyenne, how do you feel about Mikami?
Okay, so honestly, I'm gonna say that I found his scenes more entertaining than Mello and the little sister, so definitely above a D, because he gave me some entertainment value and some suspense, but I wasn't personally invested, so I'm gonna say B or C.
Okay. How about you, Josh?
Yeah, I agree. I would put him right there at C with you guys again. He was very entertaining for a little bit. He was funny. Again, like you said, delete. Immediately when you said his character, that's the first thing I thought about. Delete. So yeah, that being said, put him right there at C tier. So
He's like Light without social skills. It was like so funny.
Essentially.
Do you agree, Noah?
Yeah, see, I think he was funny. I think he was like, it was just funny seeing him. He was just like so. I think if anything, it showed very clearly the reach that Light had on like the people, like on these people, like how influential like Kira actually was, and how much like I said, like that's why it led into him being in the history books. He really dictated a lot of what went on while he was alive for that, and in such a short period of time. What was this? Not even 2-3 years that Light made this type of impact on people in such a short amount of time. I think he was more of a testament to Light on how like insane Light built Kira to be up to. Other than that, yeah, he was just there. I think it was just a testament to Light more than anything else.
Agreed. He was definitely like the number one lackey. But next is
Miss.
I mean, do we
Miss
really have
Misa. What's her name?
Sure.
Huh?
Misa.
Blondie is the biggest all-star Kira fan. Yes.
You know what? You're right. But okay, yeah, you're right. So next is Ryuk. I mean, do we really even need a conversation that Ryuk is as like, right?
No, Ryuk is great. He's funny. He's conniving, and he always kept it real too. He kept it real. Like he was like, Light, me and you are not friends, bro. I said, I'm gonna write your name down one day, just to know. And he reminded Light of that multiple times. He reminded Light. He let him know that I'm just here for some fun, and you're entertaining, so I'm staying. That's all he let Light know. So I love Ryuk for
Finessed
that.
them apples, bro. He finessed.
That's what I'm
them
saying. Ryuk was just there. He was there for a good time, not a long time. That's he made it known.
This guy's actually very like conniving now you think about it. But
Oh yeah, he was snaking the whole time. He was ready.
I remember Light kept trying to think, oh, like maybe there's a way that like I can get Ryuk to do certain things. And I mean the apples was like, okay. But he was like, yeah, I'm not helping you. Like you're gonna do it yourself.
Yeah, he said, I'm just here for the apples and some I'll throw you a oop once in a while.
Yeah, he would remind Light, like, I'm not on your side or L's side. You know that, right? And Light would be like, oh yeah, but it came back. Should have kept those words in mind.
Thanks.
I do not remember this dude's name. He was one of the cops as well. I mean,
Oh, Moji.
Moji. I mean,
all the
he
cops
played her.
I feel like all
he
the
played
cops
Misa's.
You go.
Handler.
You go.
He played Misa's manager after old dude pretended to kill himself.
I mean, is anyone think that he's over a D?
Honestly, I think all the cops that aren't literally Light's dad and like they're all literally like bricks compared to how smart these other dudes are. Like they're literally so unimportant. They were so just in the like the only reason Light doesn't kill them is because it would be too obvious for Light to kill all of them in there. Like that's the only reason they lived throughout this whole experience. They were so dumb. They were literally just like body bags get in the way to die eventually. Like essentially for me, that's what they were.
All right, do Tyrannus.
This ended his whole career.
I know. I got so passionate about that. I don't know why, but they really were. They were just there to be funny. I swear. They were just.
No, you're not wrong though. Like they were just there, bro. Like
they were just hanging out, just having the best time of their life,
just existing out there.
Basically, like they're fodder.
Literally, how you fodder in a thinking anime?
Wasn't he one of the people? Was he one of the cops that went rogue? Oh no, that's the Afro dude, right?
No, that's the Afro dude. Yeah, that's him. He was with the shits, but it didn't work. It still didn't work out for him, anyways. Didn't learn nothing.
Man. So next are two of the most important, L, and then there's Light. So L, I mean, I'm not going to go on too much of a tangent, but that's Light's rival. Oh wait, real quick, that's actually really funny. They were the most relevant during your Shuba's arc, but I'd say the biggest slog of the show. Agreed. So Light was, Light's rival, the detective. We got introduced to him when he was just an L on a screen, and we just saw like silhouettes of him, but slowly but surely. I'm never going to forget when you first get introduced to him and he has a voice changer and he basically gets like this guy who's on death row to go on TV and pretend to be him. And then he gets that guy killed. And he basically figures out from that, he's like, so you're in Japan, you can do this from different means that you don't need to physically be there. And he was like, and then he figured out, he's like, this must be a teenager and he must be in high school and he must be in the cop's family because he has all this information. So like, L was awesome. Honestly, the way he sat, the way that he nerded. Well, actually, he was a super fan of Misa, but then he like finessed her and got her phone and it got her locked up and all this stuff. Like, I liked L. I thought he was fun. I wish we got to know what his real name was. I probably could find on the internet somewhere, but we never heard what his real name was. Yeah, because I remember Misa saw it with the Shinigami eyes. I was always curious what was his real name. But while Noah's looking that up, Josh, how do you feel about L?
Well, he's my favorite character in the show. He's definitely S tier. I would honestly put him. I would put him at top of S just because again, like he was able. He was way smarter than all of the cops, obviously. And again, like that bond and that friendship between him and like he had while he was chasing Light and stuff. I loved it. He was pretty much like the highlight of the show. I was so upset how he died, and to this day, that was one of the lowest points for me when it came to the anime because it took me some time. I was like, man, no one else is going to be able to replace him. Mm-hmm. So I would put him right there at top of S for me.
How about you, Cheyenne?
So it's like I would put him behind Ryuk. Obviously, Ryuk's my favorite character, but L made the manga feel like it's not good versus evil, it's mastermind versus mastermind, because at no point is L a good person. At no point is he really trying to save people. He's just like, I need to show you that light is Kira. That's like his goal, is just like solving things that interest him. That's how they introduce him. They're like, he will only take cases that he is interested in. So it really like, he's a very important player, so obviously S tier. Would I say top of S tier? No.
Okay.
Thoughts on it?
I found his name. Well, not his name. This is just something I just went quick. I didn't go deep. His full name is L. Lawlet. He does have several aliases that sound more like his real names, but it seems to be his actual name because in all the character listings, it just has L. No one like came on actual name. All right. Well, I guess it doesn't matter at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things. Like it was such a key point during the whole series. You're not just going to tell us what his name. Just say it once. That's all we wanted to hear.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, off what you were saying, Shannon, I think that makes sense. I think L, I agree with that because L is, I wouldn't say L had a god complex, but L was extremely narcissistic, just as Light was as well. Because L, at the end of the day, like you said, he didn't care about none of the bulls that were with him. He was telling them off, like he was being real about it, though. He was like, "You guys might die," and you know, what I'm saying, I'm not going to die because nobody knows my name. But like, he was all about proving himself to be right, though. That was all he really wanted. I mean, yes, he wanted to save people, I guess, but he was really all about, I'm going to prove that I'm right. And that's where it was more of a battle between, like, it's the battle between masterminds rather than good and evil. Cause I think L just wanted to establish his mental and intellectual dominance over Kira, who was just happening, like, you know what I'm saying? It happened to be mass murdering. It was like just a rivalry at that point. So yeah, I think Ryuk is funnier. I don't think I'd put him over Ryuk. I think Ryuk is,
I agree with that.
Is like all encompassing. He's just funny the whole time. He's enjoyable.
I think any of the people that end like I mean, we're going to get to Light too, but honestly, I think these three are like, honestly, in my opinion, I mean, we might as well move on to Light, but I think that those three are like all on like equal footing and like interchangeable.
Mhm.
I could agree with that.
Yeah. Just to move on to Light, I mean, I'm not going to sit here for like an hour and explain his story, but I mean, he's literally the main character. I loved that we actually got to see like a villain being the main character of it, because it's like he's not doing anything good, but for some reason you're still rooting for him. And you want to see him succeed because you're like, oh shoot, like this guy's in a pickle, like, oh, a cop's about to go snitch on him. He finds a way around that. Oh, there's cameras in his house. Oh, he finds a way around that. Oh, he's about to get caught by like Near or something. Oh, or Mello. Oh, he found a way around that. He's so cutthroat after the time skip. Like the fact that he was willing to get rid of his memories for years just to bring it back and kill people who are even closest to him, manipulate people like Misa, kill his own father just for his own goal, knowing that he's going to die eventually, was very crazy, but it was so fun to watch. And I think my favorite part about his personality was that he always knew that the Shinigami eyes were like available, but he was like, nah, I can't. He's like, that's cheating. That takes the fun away from it. And like, I thought that was dope because that he never like copped out and did that to himself. Now he wasn't afraid to make other people do it for him. Like you got Misa and Mikami to do it, but I mean, I still thought that was cool. But I love Light. He's probably my favorite character in the series. Light Yagami is dope. Noah, how do you feel about Light?
I couldn't agree more. I like Light. Like you said, that all three of these are interchangeable. I think I'd put like Light at the top because I loved like you said, I kind of have a thing for the crazy characters as well, and I just loved like Light didn't care. He didn't care. He only was worried about getting what he wanted to get done. And that's what he was always about, business as well. He just kept it. He just did what he had to do. You know,
which is weird too, because I mean, to a degree, what he was doing wasn't. I mean, murder's not good, obviously, but like he was killing
the right people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Now, where it got messed up was he started killing people who was like opposing him. I mean, all right, but like he was killing like bad people. It's not good. Let me stop. But yeah,
it's
anyway,
not good. But like when you think about it, like more out of like the moral standard of things, if you look at it from like a societal, like would it help society? I mean, essentially, yes. Like if you're being like real unethical about it, but if you're being real about it, it helped, and he did help society. Essentially, he literally set fear into the entire world, and ended these conflicts, like essentially.
I remember there was that
I
one scene. The cop was like, "Wait, why would we want to stop him? He's killing bad."
No, that's not. Like, he had people really questioning their own morals.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
and we're
like,
talking
"Wait
about
a
it now,
minute."
but he really had people in the series like thinking, like, I mean, is he really bad?
Mhm.
Is he really good? Like, you know what I mean?
What were you saying,
I
Cheyenne?
don't think I don't think Light's lack of self-awareness makes him better than Ryuk and L. Honestly, now that you guys have said that, I'm like, he's below Ryuk and L. Because I'm like, okay, at least Ryuk had like total self-awareness. He knew he was doing bad shit to have good fun. He was like, I want to do hood rat shit with my hood rat friends, and I can respect that. But L, he was like, I'm the best ever and I'm gonna show it. But he also cared for people. Like even when Afro Dude was leaving and he was like, oh, I hate you, you're so annoying, blah blah blah. He was like, well, I still liked you, but have a good one. You know, it's like L had more variance in character, whereas Light just kept sinking like more and more into his like own shit.
Mm, I feel
He
you.
definitely got progressively more egotistical. You're right about
Oh
that.
yeah, aggressively.
Cocky, and that's when he started getting messy and like slipping when he got cocky. But Josh, what are you about to say?
Yeah, I completely agree. I would probably put him at the bottom of S tier just because again, in the beginning he had the right ideas, but then as the series progressed, he got worse and worse and worse. He got more sloppy towards the end, and he really just started getting crazy. I mean, in terms of like the moral code and stuff, you guys know me very well. Like I love characters that really like follow like their own moral code a lot. And that's one of the reasons why like I really love the Death Note series in general. The whole anime and stuff was awesome. It because again, like Light, just like how L made the show great, Light made it great as well. Because again, you have this guy that's just here's the moral code. He's killing bad people, like you guys said. He's making even cops and other people that are put in power or just sitting there questioning, like, hey, like, should we really kill this guy because he's killing bad people? And then it eventually ended up going even more crazier, but that idea of like the moral code and stuff, because we all know we all live in society today. There's so many people that are put in positions of power that don't deserve that power, that take advantage of that power, that end up manipulating and hurting and even killing so many innocent lives and stuff like that. And then the fact that the main character had this power and chose to kill those types of people, like, you've earned my respect. like I mean, so because I mean, there's definitely a lot of people in our definite country that needs a little, if there needs a little fear instilled in them. So yeah, I mean, I definitely Light overall as a character. I would put him at bottom of Esto again, just because towards the end of the series he got sloppy and then he just turned into like a huge psycho. But the laugh at the end though really solidified that moment for me. But I would put him right at S tier. Wherever just like you said, wherever you rank the top 3 in the S tier is up to you. But man, he's a great main protagonist. It's something different. And like, it's something different. We're so used to a guy being a good guy. Like, no.
Especially in Shonen Jump. Like, I'm not used to seeing this type of character. Like, you know. So what? So 2 tops, 2 bottoms equals 1 mid. So real quick before we go to the next one, Josh in the comments actually had a really good question. So do you think if Light ended all crime, will he be able to stop killing? Now, the thing with Death Note is interesting because the whole concept of the show is just like self-justice and like people's different perspective on what justice really is. Like Light thinks if you get rid of all crime and just kill like the people who do bad things, like maybe it will be a lesson for the other people not to do bad things and the crime rates will drop, which they did. And then you have Light where it's like, no, you know, killing in general is wrong, and you know, we need to follow the law, like how the world system it works a certain way. We need to follow that. No, you're not God. So you know, it's all about self-justice. I don't know, because I think like Josh and Cheyenne were saying, towards the end of the series, Light was really just getting out of control and just kind of just felt like if you defy me, then I'm killing you. Like there's possibly other people out there who weren't even criminals who just didn't support him, and he probably would have been like, no, F you, I'm killing you. You know, like I don't know. Like Light was just becoming a complete psychopath by the end of the series, to the point where he's literally supporting a cultist of Kira. So it's just like the fact that he had a plan to give the Death Note to other like organizations to do more crime just so that he had more people to kill, it's like he probably would have intentionally got people to do bad things just to have more people to kill. You like, you know, like Light's crazy. So no, I don't think he would have stopped killing. I think he actually would have provoked it more. But I don't know, that's just my thoughts. Does anyone else have any other counter thoughts to that?
I'd probably agree.
I mean, knowing that, like, if you don't use the notebook within X amount of days, you die anyway. No, I can't see Light ever being completely done. I feel like even if he got rid of all of the crime in Japan, he would be like, all right, well, what's in Australia? What's in Canada? You know, he would keep going from country to country. And even if crime stopped, he'd try to kill the people already in prison. Even if the prisons are empty, he'll find someone else who should be, you know, prosecuted for whatever X, Y, and Z reason he wants to. He could go into another religion and be like, oh, let's start killing trans people. He could have done any amount of things that would have kept that power in his hands.
All right. So we only got a few characters left in the tier, so let's just get through these. So what's his name again, Cheyenne? I forget his name.
Watari.
Watari, yes. He's a butler. He was like he's was
kind
like
of the goat, low key.
Yeah, like honestly, like he died for the cause, to be honest.
He really is the goat though, low key.
He would show up to all of the United Nation meetings. Like he was showing up front lines to these things for L, and like it's dangerous, but like, you know, he rode for him, you know. Even when he was getting killed, he literally made sure to delete all the information and send it over to the orphanage in his dying moment. So like, you know, Watchery's dope. I love Watchery, you know. I thought he was like Noah said, he's the GOAT. But Josh, how do you feel about Watchery?
Oh no, I'm in agreement with you guys. I was actually gonna ask, like, where would you put him? Because
I put him right next to his dad, man.
I know.
Yeah, I'd put him in
A tier.
I'd definitely put him in A. He played his role well, and he was insanely smart as well. He wasn't no dummy. He was just as smart, if not smarter than Light's dad. Honestly, I think he added funny dynamic too. He was like kind of like not like snippy. I don't know. He's like underhandedly funny sometimes. Like I don't know.
You remind me of Batman's butler.
No.
Yeah. He was kind of he's kind of did it all. He really did though.
Would I steal your thought?
I literally just tweeted, I'm about to bring up Batman. Oh my god. Yes, he is Albert out here. They're just missing the little Batmobile. They were going hotel to hotel because, you know, they got the money. Low key, not really into justice, just want revenge or something to play with. I was like, you know, this Watari guy why is he doing so much? Why is he sacrificing so hard? It's creepy, but admirable.
All right. Yeah. Well, wait, real quick. Are we putting him over Chief Yagami, or are we putting him under?
I'd put him over. Honestly, I prefer him better.
Okay. Lots of reasons.
Shook.
So next, this is the news reporter chick that was quote unquote dating Light. She was another like Mikami. She was like a cultist of Kira, a supporter, and then she unintentionally, I mean, she got manipulated like crazy. Like she was doing his dirty work. She killed Mello, but then she didn't know that would lead to her killing herself. Hey, I mean, you know, she died for what she believes in, I guess. I don't know if she was down to die, but she died. But yeah, I mean, she was, I guess, Light's temporary girlfriend almost. She was a news reporter. I guess they knew each other from high school, but yeah, college. I don't even remember her name.
She was known, like, she was like the one who won some kind of trophy, Miss Tato or something.
And the crazy thing, actually, that I totally forgot until right now, Light was kind of using her in the media to try to like manipulate like public reception of Kira, and trying to get her to like speak good about Kira, so like the common people who didn't have a side can like, oh, come over here, like this is the good side. So she was interesting. I personally would put her right next to Mikami because like, I mean, she was like a plot device almost. Like she's a lackey. I don't hate her like the D tiers, or like she was important relatively, but she got finessed like crazy. So I don't know.
She was literally just an instrument. She was Light's immortal instrument from beginning to end.
Yep, I definitely
agree.
C tier it is. Next is Noah's favorite character. How do you say his name?
Matsuda the goat.
Yeah, he was like the
clown. Like I said, all the cops are dumb as hell, and he's at the bottom of the list. He's so stupid. It's not even funny how dumb he is.
But he's entertaining, man.
No, he is though. It's so entertaining how dumb he is. Like just this shit. Like he just puts himself in the worst spot. Like you said, he thinks he's a hero. He just puts himself in the worst spot possible. Think he's about to make the game-saving play. Like no, bro.
You know what?
Break your ankle.
He reminds me of like the typical Shonen Jump main character that they usually put in these shows, and he was probably like, I must be the main character of this anime, and he was like, oh wait. He was like, I gotta protect my friends.
Yeah, no.
He was earnest. He was clumsy. He wasn't super dumb.
He's literally Naruto. He's literally Naruto and Asta and all of them, but without the actual feats.
Oh no, I think he's pretty dumb.
The power of friendship.
He's funny. I'd probably put him at like I like him. I think
I'm gonna put him at A.
He's funny. You put him at A? I was gonna say B. I think he's funny. Yeah, I think he's like a good device. I'd agree with putting him at A. He's definitely, for me, he's better than Nier and fucking what was her name? Naomi. I didn't want to get yelled at again.
Wait a minute, is Naomi over Nier?
For me, she is.
Maybe. Yes, she was. I like Cheyenne's points when she was talking about how smart she really was, because she really did deduce Light like with swiftness, and Light just got saved by being in the right place at the right time. Honestly,
true. No.
All right. So, we got 4 left. So we got Ray Pember. Complete fodder, honestly. I mean, he was there for like an episode.
Wrong space, wrong time. That's basically Ray Pember. That was it.
He was just the FBI agent that was spying on a Light, and he said, "Boy, you like simmer down."
Yeah,
I remember he got
finessed.
He got someone to come on the bus, try to shoot someone, and I think he shot himself, or he ran in front of the bus or something. I forget, but
yeah, he ran in front of the bus and died in an accident. That's when Light realized how much he could manipulate like death and stuff, and like how accurate it was.
This guy was bad at his job too, because like he kept getting like spotted by Light. He was like, "Why?" He was like, "Yeah, why are you following me?"
Well, Ryuk helped him in the manga, but I would like to say that he's like the representation of Light's like training arc. How like in Shonen Man, like they're all fighting and stuff, but Light was like, okay, let me use this dude to test out my abilities.
Let me see how accurate I can kill this man and figure out. We're just gonna see. I'm gonna take this girl on a fake date real quick. We're just gonna get on the bus. We're gonna watch this guy die, and I'm gonna take her home. We don't have to go on the date. That's
so wait, was she a fake date?
Yeah, she was a fake date. Yeah, completely fake date. It was literally just to see if he could kill the dude exactly how he wanted.
I hate that the death of Ray Pember is the training arc of Death Note. Now that I think that's crazy.
It really is, though. I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah.
She was definitely one of the girls Light started dating to throw off the suspension on Misa, but I don't know how long that
I didn't remember that was the second. Now you're right. She is, though. So dang, she got used as a plot device twice.
Dang, she got
yeah. I really hate to see it.
Josh, where you putting Ray Pember?
Where I'd put him, maybe I don't know.
You can't really go wrong.
Yeah, I know. I'd probably put him bottom C.
Okay, bottom C. He's kind of. He was there.
He died for the cause.
He died for the cause. You know what I'm saying?
Next is I mean, first of all, what is this design? Like
he was another superhero complex bull who thought in the Nier arc when like Nier was there, he thought he was like big brain and shit. Like, oh, I'm L's not here. It's time for me to step up and do. Nah, like let's take a step back, all
know
right,
your
buddy.
role, bro.
Know your role. You're not big brain like Light and Nier out here. Like you need to just collect some information and pass it along.
He really can't look. You know how big of a hypocrite you are. He was a part of it. And then he finally saw L's appearance and like what the plan was. He was like, "Nah, I'm out." And then you're gonna come back years later when they're about to do the big pursuit and be like, "Yeah, I want to support. You know, I want to be what after the hard work is done. Like you're corny." I don't even remember his name, man. Like,
I don't remember his name. He's after
you know what? Bottom D for me. I don't know about y'all, but he annoyed me.
He's unimportant. Honestly, he was just there. Literally, he was just existing. Like we said about all the cops just existed. Honestly, Matsu's only up there because he's funny. For me,
you're not wrong. Cheyenne, do you care about him being bottom D?
No comment.
Okay, there you go. Next is Misa Amane, my favorite character. I'm going to be biased, so I'm not going to rank her yet. But she's a psycho. She has the biggest love. Oh, you know what? She loves Light because she thinks that he saved her when she didn't. She was being stalked by that one random fan, and he was he confessed his love. He was like, "Marry me," and she was like, "No." He was like, "Well, if I can't marry you, no one can." And he tried to stab her, and then the Shinigami jealous. His name was literally jealous, like killed him, and then he died for her or whatever. But I liked Misa. I thought it was very fun to see a second like Shinigami user there. Like, she introduced us to the Shinigami eyes, which I thought was crazy. She was very messy. I liked how she was like, you couldn't predict where she was. I remember even Light got sick of her. He was like, I'm almost provoked to hit a woman or something. Like,
like, that's a one line in the series that I think sounds better sub. That line right there.
Yeah,
I think it's no dubbed. I think the dub is actually funny. Is funnier than the sub was because like I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
Reading it, that was the most Light had ever made me laugh. He was like,
"That's what I'm saying." It was just funny. It was just a funny.
For the first time, I want to punch a woman. And I was like, wow.
It was kind of funny. Really though, because Light doesn't really joke around, but he was like, "I'm about to rock this girl right now because she just keeps ruining my plan."
All right, so when are we going on a date? He said, "I'm not telling you any. I might have to see other women to throw people off." She said, "If I see you with anyone else, I'm going to kill them." Yeah, and he was like,
"That was great." He was like, "You're crazy." Anyways.
Oh, but another thing, she liked Kira, aka Light, after he killed a robber that killed her parents. So that's why she liked Kira, and then she, with the eyes, that's how she found Light.
I will also say throughout all the character designs, I think she has the best one. I like her whole like aesthetic and stuff. Like, I mean, I know she's like the celebrity actress and all that, but I mean, like her whole outfit is cool as hell. I thought it was dope. Josh, how do you feel about Misa?
I'm in agreement with you guys. I mean, that line is definitely like one of the best lines in all of Death Note, because you have a guy literally in Light that has murdered so many people, and he'll never hit a woman, but now her craziness is like, yo, I'm really about to just smack her real quick. So I mean, I would probably put her top of A. I mean, just because of overall impact in the anime, her designs as well. But we can make a case for maybe getting bottom S, but I would probably put her top of A. And then just like you said, though, the introduction of the Shinigami eyes as well, very big stepping point into the anime, into the series as well. So where would you guys rank her?
Real quick, I just remember she took the Shinigami deal twice too. Like she have her like twice. She's crazy.
She would have done anything for that boy.
That's true.
That wanted to punch her.
Let's say she was supposed to live till like 80. She have to, so she was going to die at 40, and then she have to again. She was going to die at like 20 years old. She is crazy. Anyway, so John,
I think Misa could be top. Not top S, bottom S. I think I put her in S because I think she added. As long with her character, I liking her character, liking how messy she was, just liking the crazy character in general. I think she added the suspense as well in a lot of situations where she might mess up and now Light has to catch that slip up, or like she does something good and now L is left behind in the dust. I think she added another like that side dynamic that was necessary to like keep the thrillers and like the back and forth like being more interesting between like Light and L.
Yeah, I was definitely gonna say top A, but now that you guys have introduced bottom S, I'm like, she was so significant to the entire story from her introduction to like pretty much the end. So yeah, I'll say that even also she got two Shinigami to fall in love with her. Like not fall in love, but they cared for her deeply.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's iconic. So yeah, S tier.
Yep. S
And
tier.
I was fine with either or, but you already know.
She taught Light a lot about the Death Note as well, because because I feel like Rem was a lot more open about the Death Note and also about like her own situation, how she came across the second book, because she even told like about like how to kill a Shinigami and like all this. Like I think she brought a lot of information to Light that ended up being huge for him, that led to like his whole victory. I think she just played she played a super important role.
Yeah.
Lastly is Rem. This was Misa's Shinigami, but like you guys said, since she did fall in love with Misa, Rem was willing to do anything for Misa. That included Misa telling Rem to do everything that Light said. So, Rem eventually killed Light because I guess Light was threatening to kill Misa, and Rem was like, we ain't having that. But I like the idea of Rem. Like she originally took the Death Note from Jealous to I'm giving this book to you because this is what Jealous would want. But then she caught feelings herself. I don't know what it is about Misa, but Shinigami love Misa. So I personally, the only thing that kind of threw me off is that I think that Misa is the reason that Light won, and it wasn't even on Light's own accord. It was with like hoping that like L was going to slip up and say something that he had no idea was that, like, if he knew, oh, if I say this I'm going to die, then I'm sure L would have never said that. So I didn't, Rem killed herself just to kill L, and I mean, I didn't like that. I think that was what made me upset about Rem and made me feel like a bitter taste to Rem. But I mean, everything else I was fine with. I personally would put Rem at like a C, but I don't know. How do you feel, Cheyenne?
Yeah, Rem was soft as hell. She was like, you know how I was just like, man, you really were tired of living, huh? I think that's when the Shinigami like are ready to die. They're like, this little human person, they're not too bad. I'd kill myself for them. I think she was ready to go. And so I would also say like C or bottom B, just because it's like another one of Light's weapons. He's got like an arsenal. Congrats.
I will put Rem bottom C. I really don't care for Rem, but that's fair. No, that's fair.
I think I'd agree. I think she was just there. I mean,
yeah,
you didn't really learn too much about her. She was just there, and because of the other Shinigami that died for Misa, and that was really it. She was just kind of like, well, here you go. I'm gonna hang out with you. That was about it. Like,
yeah, I agree. I'd probably put her on C tier for me.
All right. Do we care where we're putting her in C tier? Let's see. Do we like?
She never made me laugh. So definitely after Deleted, dude.
We could put her right. Ooh, whoops, right there. Yeah, that seems right. All right. So I mean, this is our tier list. The most important is the S tiers: Ryuk, Light, L, and then Misa, and then everyone else is, the A tiers actually got some votes in here, but I don't care about the rest of them.
Can we put L ahead of Light, or how y'all feeling about that?
I don't care. It's interchangeable. Sure.
I would personally prefer Light over L, but it doesn't really matter that much. They're basically equal, essentially.
Josh, what are you saying? Wait, which one?
I mean,
we're never going to have this because look.
Make a decision.
Josh and Cheyenne are going to say L, and then me and Noah are going to say Light. So we're never going to have
we're
never going to have a real answer. That's something like, I don't care. They're the same area. I don't care.
Yeah, it all just comes down to personal preference at this point. They're both amazing characters, but it's just
I'll
like,
put an imaginary equal sign.
there you go.
Well, you know what? There you go. That's a tier list for today. That was a fun one. I like that one. That was
Yeah,
cool.
it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Josh.
The Josh person did another funny thing. Rem's name is appropriate.
It puts me to sleep.
It's she, but
That's good. That's good. That's good.
That was good.
That is funny. That really is a perfect comparison, honestly.
So, Josh, do we have any more talking points in regards to Death Note, or are we done here?
Yeah, that pretty much wraps everything up. We really got into it.
That was our first time talking about something non fighting related. I know that was cool. So we got to do more of those. Got to dip into those rom-coms now.
Rom-com next.
We're gonna look into it. So we're just gonna start closing out. So Cheyenne, thanks for joining us tonight. Honestly, you can come whenever you want. Just let us know. But Cheyenne, where can people find you? What you up to?
Hey y'all, you can find me on Twitter and YouTube. I'm Cheyenne New with a K because I used to know things. And yeah, you can see me on the interwebs sometimes. Sometimes I sleep in. That's about it.
All right. Noah, how about you?
As you can see, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram at SoftNoNo. I play video games on Twitch, and I also read manga sometimes on Twitch as well.
And then Josh.
Yep, you guys can follow me on Twitch at swoop_RD_. I do a bunch of sports. I live stream sports, also do some like interviews and stuff like that. I've also just added Pokemon as well. So I'm going to start playing Pokemon games and also going to add that gaming aspect to it as well. So that's where you guys can follow me at.
All right, and like usual, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and all those other socials at 8Ball Bangers. Literally, the name is right here. And if you're listening to this elsewhere, like Spotify, you can find the visuals on YouTube at Silent Podcast. We have a lot more to do this week. I believe tomorrow I will be joined with Geneva and Sasha to talk about Temptation Island. We will also be back on Friday, where I will be joining Cheyenne, Sarah, Ganjo, and Jeanette to talk about Big Brother Canada, where we're going to see probably either Austin or Kyle, most likely Kyle, leave this week. And then Saturday, you're going to join Carrie with whoever her guest is for the week, talking about the Circle UK. They just announced the Circle US, so I mean that's going to be interesting. We're going to add that to it. Oh, and actually Thursday, usually we do this on Mondays, but Sabrina and Lance are playing a live game. So Thursday, me and Lance and Sabrina will be talking about Total Drama Island and all those episodes. So you can join us at the Anime Club every single Tuesday, and we will be recording, talking about different manga, anime, video games, and all that. Look in the description. You should find the website that Josh made. It's recent, so look at that. Follow the Twitter page and all that other fun stuff. And yeah, otherwise we will see you guys next time, and have a good night.